you guys know right from wrong, okay? My name is Officer Edwin Tizcareno with the Corona Police Department. I have 27 and a half years on law enforcement experience. I'm currently assigned to the Traffic Bureau as a motor officer. Yeah, I'm that motor guy that's right behind you if you do something wrong and you look at your side of your mirror or your rearview mirror and you say, damn man, I'm gonna get pulled over. You hear rumors about motor officers, they're jerks, they don't show no love, they will give you a ticket. That's true. However, I'm down to earth. I'm probably one of the coolest cops in the police department except for her. She's second. And if you can make me laugh and give me a good reason why not to give you a ticket, I'll give you a freebie, okay? With that said, I'll introduce my partner to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Meetelena Jones. I've been with Corona PD for the past 2 years, but before that I was a police explorer. So if any of you guys are interested in law enforcement, I started that at 16. It's a program where high schooler and college students go in. They give you hands-on training. They taught me how to handcuff. They taught us how to shoot. They gave us like little scenarios, how we pull people over and stuff like that. And that's what really made me love this career and why I want to go into it. Yeah, so I'm a substitute SRO today. So Behinas will be back tomorrow, and yeah.
I'm gonna take off my mask just a little bit because.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Do you want to use this?
Yeah. No, that's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
And I suffer, believe it or not, I just realized a couple of years ago I suffer from anxiety. Gee, that's another thing I need to worry about. High blood pressure, anxiety, high cholesterol. Yeah, that happens when you start getting a little bit older. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about two topics today. One is what to do if you're involved in a traffic collision or accident. The second is what do I do if I get stopped by the cops if you're in a car, okay? So the Corona Police Department has a policy. Every department is different, but the city of Corona, if you're involved in a minor traffic collision, meaning just a rear end collision, minimal damage, minor bumper here and there, first thing to do is calm down. I know you're gonna panic. It's your first accident. You're probably gonna wanna call your parents. Not a problem. Call your parents. Call the police. That's what we get paid for. We'll respond when you call dispatch. However you feel in that situation. You want to call 911, so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. No one's going to scold you and say, you shouldn't call this number. Hey, I'm freaking out. I've been in an accident. I don't know what to do. That's the reason why I'm calling you. They're going to ask you multiple questions. They're going to ask you the very most important, if you're okay, if you're injured or complaining of any pain. Tell them, no, I just need the police department over here at such and such street. I was just involved in a car accident. We'll respond. When I respond, the first thing I want to know is you already spoke to my dispatcher. I haven't spoken to you, so I'm going to ask you a series of questions. First thing I'm going to ask, who are the drivers to the cars? Because there might be 4 or 5 people in one car. I don't know who the driver is, and I might be standing on the sidewalk with another 4 or 5 people. So I'll ask who's the drivers, identify the drivers, then I'll ask them, is anyone hurt? Is anyone injured? No. So we eliminated that. I'll tell them what I need from them is their driver license, registration, and proof of insurance. That's required by law. So what I'll do, I'll get my little pad right here, my iPad. I'll scan your driver license with technology nowadays, and I'll input all the information, your car, your insurance, and I'll go up to the next person that was driving the other car and get their information as well. I'll print out, because we have printers on our motorcycles, I'll print out like a grocery receipt. It'll be duplicate. I'll give her a copy and him a copy, and I'll tell them, I need you to come over here so I don't have to repeat myself. This is a exchange of information. By law, when you're involved in an accident, you're supposed to exchange information. Instead of you doing that, I did it for you. So I'll give you a copy, what I'll tell you is to call your insurance, let them know you were involved in an accident, and they're gonna ask you multiple questions. That piece of paper that I provided for you has all the information. It's gonna be an incident number, okay? An incident number basically means that somebody called the police and it's documented, okay? It's not a full-blown police report. The only time we do a full police report is if somebody's injured or someone's transported to the hospital, okay? So remember that if you're injured or complaining of pain, we will write a traffic collision report. No injuries, no complaint of pain. It's just an exchange of information. I will provide her and him a copy with everyone's information. Call your insurance, let them know you're involved in an accident. I tell them, take pictures of each other's cars. You have that right. If people tell you, no, you can't take a picture of my car, you could. It's in a public road, okay? So they don't own that street. The state owns that street. So you're entitled to take pictures of your car, their car, and vice versa, and take pictures of the scene where the accident happened. So when your parents or when you call your insurance and you let them know you're involved in an accident, they're gonna ask you multiple questions, and they're gonna tell you if you describe the vehicles and where the accident occurred. Best thing to do is, I have pictures and I have the area where the accident happened. They're gonna say, man, we love you. Can I just email it to you? And simple and easy. Gotta love technology, okay? It's better than painting the picture over the phone, because I'll get confused. Anyway, let's talk about injuries. Say you're involved in an accident and you're injured. Calm down, take a deep breath. Call 911 if you can. They're gonna ask you if you're injured. Yes, I am. Okay, we got officers in the fire department responding. I'll probably show up first in the fire department. I'll get there. I will try to ease you down, calm you down, get your information, and as soon as the fire department gets there, I'll let them take over. I'll let them know what kind of pain you have or what kind of injuries you have. They'll transport you to the hospital if they have to. Your car will remain there. Depending on how bad the car is, I'm gonna have to tow that car, because technically it's blocking the roadway. So it can't block the roadway, so I would tow it, and the next day, your parents or somebody can call the police department and ask them, hey, I was involved in an accident, my car was towed, I don't know where my car is. They will tell you where the car is. Everything is documented, okay? If you can get out of the car safely, do so. If you can't, if the car's starting to smoke or there's fire, try to get out as soon as you can, okay? Like I said, if you can't, hopefully we'll get there really soon. Hit and runs. Does anyone know what hit and run means? Yes?
It's when someone like hits you and they just run away.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Pretty
the
much.
best I could do.
Is that okay to do?
No.
Why?
'Cause they just, how you say this, they don't like stop and to check on you or.
Okay, is it against the law? Yeah, it is, huh? So, if somebody hits you or you hit them, please, whatever you do, don't leave. Just stay there. Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. You didn't do it deliberately. Maybe you weren't paying attention on your cell phone probably, or texting. I don't know. Or you're just thinking about what happened. You just got into an argument with your boyfriend or girlfriend about an hour ago, and you're not really thinking. It happens. That's why they call it accidents. Okay, but once you leave a scene of an accident, now it gets into a situation, now it's a crime. It's considered a hit and run. If somebody hits you, okay, and if you have the opportunity, take a picture or jot down the license plate to that vehicle as it's driving away. If you can't ID the driver, even better. If the car takes off on you, play it smart. I don't expect you to chase this car around the whole entire city of Corona, okay? Try to go up to the car and keep a distance, but as long as you get that picture of the car and then just fade away from there. Don't even go after it anymore, because the evidence there, you got the plate. So we'll show up, you give us the license plate, we'll do a follow-up. We'll go to wherever that license comes back to. If it's local or nearby in Riverside, we'll go there and we'll knock on the door. Hey, that car's parked in the driveway where there's damage. Is that your car? I've been doing this for a long time and I'm still wondering why people lie to us. I don't get it. No, that's not my car. Here goes the gains, right? So I tell them, listen, I'm just trying to get a hold of the owner of the vehicle. If no one's claiming to drive the car, no one can ID the driver, then I need insurance on the vehicle. By law, even though you weren't driving the car and she owns the car, she loaned the car to him, she's supposed to have insurance on that vehicle, by law. So if nobody claims to be the driver, I need insurance on that vehicle. And they say, we don't have insurance. And there's a possibility they're gonna get a ticket for not having insurance. But if you can ID the driver, the officer will ask you, do you wanna press charges against that person for hit and run, which is just a misdemeanor, and they're probably gonna get a ticket and go to court. Then you have to go to court and testify. And a lot of people don't like, that's too time consuming, and I don't want that. I just want the guy's insurance for the most part. A lot of people just say, I just want insurance. But it's your choice. You can press charges for hit and run if you can positively ID the driver, a license plate on the car, and that's that with that. Everyone watches the news, correct? TV and stuff like that. You hear about these road rages. and sometimes they turn really, really bad, where, you know, Channel 7 used 2 vehicles and blah, 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 next thing you know, John is dead. We had those calls here in the city of Corona, road rages, and when I show up and I stop one car, my partner stops the other car, there's 3 sides to the story, always in law enforcement. Theirs, his, and the truth. So I'll talk to this person, and I tell him what happened. Well, I'm just minding my own business, and this guy just chasing me around all over, flipping me off, throwing things at me. I started panicking. Back in the day, I would say, you're lying, because there's always a reason why people do things, okay? That's just common sense. But now, there's people out there that are not mentally correct, you know, they're either under the influence, schizophrenic, combination of everything, drugs. So yeah, they might just been freaking out while they're driving, and something happened where they snapped and they start chasing you down and throwing things. So yeah, I kind of believe you when you say, hey, I'm just minding my own business, and all of a sudden this person just throws things at me and flips me off. Anyway, if you get in a situation of road rage, whether you cut somebody off by accident, you know, just, hey, I'm sorry. Simple and easy. But they come up to you and they still keep on hitting their horn, flipping you off and throwing things at you, dial 911. You're scared. I get it. They're not gonna scold you when you call 911. Hey, I got this guy or this person throwing things at me. They're chasing me around. You know, I'm panicking. I don't know what to do. The Corona Police Department will tell you where you at. Do you have a description of the vehicle? Can you see the license plate on the car? Maybe a description of the driver. They might tell you to drive directly to the Corona Police Department, and they might guide you over there. Meanwhile, they're sending police officers over there to your location. So they're keeping you on the phone, they're updating us on the radio of where you're at, okay? So help will be there. Just keep calm, give a description, and like I said, try to keep that distance away from that person. So, any questions with anything I covered? Sure, positive? Boring class.
You've got about 15 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have anything to say?
And just remember, like with road rages, sometimes it sucks, like you'll get angry when people cut you off. Just know it's not worth it. Like, yeah, you're angry for that second, but if that's the worst thing that happened to you that day, then you had a pretty good day, you know? So, and especially with today, you don't know who's in that car. Like us, when we pull people over, we don't know who's in that car. We don't know what they have in that car. We found guns in cars, drugs, all this stuff. So you don't know either. So you have to be careful and just, it's not worth it. So just go on about your day. It sucks. I know people are gonna honk, but
Yeah.
you can control your actions, but you can't control other people's actions.
Yeah.
So just be careful when it comes to that.
Right, just be mindful. You don't know that other person, you don't know what they're capable of doing or what they have in their car. Just be mindful, okay? Keep your distance, call 911 if you need to, and we'll help you. Traffic stops. When I mean traffic stops, that means when a police officer stops you in your car. If I stop you in your car, everything goes off attitude. If you're having a bad day, I get it, I understand, okay? But if you keep on chipping away and this and this and this and this and that, I'll be honest with you, it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get back to the situation where I'm gonna tell you, hey, I'm trying to be nice to you and try to explain to you the reason why I'm stopping you. You're not allowing me to, and you're mad at me. Calm down. And if you keep on going at it, there's something wrong. Something is not right, because a good person or a normal person, if I stop them, they're gonna tell me, yes, officer, or good afternoon, and I'll tell them this is the reason why I'm stopping you. So when I stop you, I'll ask you for your driver license, registration, proof of insurance, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm stopping you, okay? Some officers might not tell you right then and there, but at the end they'll tell you, hey, I'm stopping you because of this, but eventually they will. And if they don't, ask. It's not a crime, it's not against the law. You can ask. So what I'll do is, okay, good morning, this is my presentation. Good morning. Are you heading to work or are you going to work, school? I'm heading to work. Okay, the reason why I'm stopping you this morning, the street is a 45-mile-per-hour street, and I got you doing 61. A lot of accidents are caused because of speed. That's the reason why I'm stopping you. Can I have your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance? They'll hand that to me. I'll go to my motorcycle, I'll pull this out, give them a ticket. I'll go up to them, and I tell them, basically, this is a ticket. The only thing I need is your signature. The ticket says right there, without admitting guilt, it is only a promise to appear on the date and time. I need your signature. And they'll sign it, and I tell them, watch your speed, and have a nice day, and that's it, and drive off. I'm more concerned about hands. As my partner was saying, the downfall of being a police officer is the unknown. When I stop people, I don't know who I'm stopping, and that's scary for me. So I like to see hands. If I don't see hands, I tell them, can I see your hands? Could you put your hands on the steering wheel? Or just visible. Then I'll approach the vehicle. If I see tinted windows in the back, they're up. I tell them before I even approach the car, I tell them if they can roll down the back windows, because I don't want nobody in the back seat with a knife or a gun and try to go at me. So I'll tell them nicely, can you roll down the windows for me? I don't know who's in the back, for my safety, please. And they'll roll down the windows, and I'll go up to the driver's window, and I'll talk to them and explain to them the reason why I stopped them. Anyway, just hands, be polite. If you think that I gave you a ticket and that it wasn't a good ticket, that you like, hey, that's not me and this and that, don't be confrontational with the officer. You have your court date, okay? Fight the ticket in court. You have that right. Tell the judge your side of the story. I'll tell the judge my side of the story, and she'll determine whether or not you're found guilty. You never know it. You might just get lucky and the ticket will be dismissed. So be mindful, be polite, and if the officer tells you to do something, just do something. And the reason why, it's a safety thing, you know, because like I said, it's the unknown. We don't know who we're stopping. There was one more thing I wanted to cover. Oh yes, people ask me all the time, officer, do I have to sign the ticket? Yes, there is actually a California vehicle code says that you must sign the ticket. Well, that's just a ticket. You're saying that I'm guilty. No, the ticket says without admitting guilt, it is only a promise to appear on the date and time of the ticket. If you think that the ticket I'm giving you is not a good ticket, you have every right to fight the ticket in front of a judge, and I highly recommend that you do. The only thing I just need your signature right here. But I'm not gonna sign the ticket. Now there's issues here, because I'll tell them, if you don't wanna sign the ticket, then the other option is I'm gonna have to take you to jail. You can't take me to jail. And this is where you start challenging. You tell an officer his job, I guarantee you a lot of officers are gonna get upset, because I tell them, what do you do for a living? Does it matter? Yes, it does. Because if you're a cook, do I tell you how to cook? No. They don't tell me how to do my job, and it's now a confrontational situation. We gotta keep it professional, okay? I'm not gonna go at you, grab you, or F you this and this and that, but I am gonna tell you, these are your options. Your options is, if you refuse, I'm gonna have to take you to jail, because now you're refusing to sign the ticket, and you wanna see a judge, in front of a judge, so basically I'm gonna have to take you to the station, call the courts and find out if there's availability for the judge to see you. Sometimes it might be 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on the judge if he's available or not, because they have set schedules every day. If you get stopped on a Friday night and you don't want to sign the ticket, guess what? You're going to a police station. You're probably going to be in there until Monday, because the courts are not open on the weekend, okay? Hopefully someone will convince you, hey, supervisor, sergeant, lieutenant, might come, Mr. Rodriguez, it's just signature, that's it, and you're on your way. That's it. Or maybe by you sitting in that cell, you might come to your common sense and say, okay, I'll just sign the ticket. Once again, it's not admitting guilt. It is only a promise to appear on the time and date. And if you want to challenge the ticket, you have every right to in front of a judge. Understand? You have any questions? Yeah? No? Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
What was that program that you had done when you were 16?
It's called Police Explorers. So the Corona Police Department has it. So what you can do is you can either go to the city website, or you can go to the police station and then ask for an application. It's just a quick, like, who you are, and then they just check your grades. You do have to have, I believe it's a 2.0 GPA or above to be in the program. And then if you when you graduate high school and go to college, you have to be in college for to stay in the program. So like I said, with that, they teach you how to do different scenarios. Like we did felony car stops. They tell us what to say. So if you ever want to be a police officer, it works really well when you're on training. You already know how to do it. And then they teach you how to shoot and all that good stuff. So.
Any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
So if you get caught driving illegally, how long do they suspend your availability to have a license for?
So if you don't have a license at all, the courts will fine you for that, and it could be a hefty fine. When it comes down to DMV, the DMV would have a record of your name, birthday, and your address and all that information, and it'll just show that you didn't have a license. Doesn't mean they're gonna hold or not give you the opportunity to get a license. It's just, you're looking at a fine. That's what you're really looking at. Now, if you have a provisional license, how many of you here have a provisional license? Yeah? If you read the back of your license, it says restrictions, right? You can't have anyone under 21, I think, and you can't drive a car between 11 p.m. and 5 o'clock in the morning, all right? That's another thing I wanted to cover. If you have provisional license, there's restrictions. If you get stopped by the police and you have your friends in the car, there's a good chance that they might give you a ticket. It's gonna be because you're violating your restrictions. And DMV is gonna get a notification. DMV is gonna like this. They're gonna say, don't do that next time, and give you a fine. You do it again, they'll take your license and they'll suspend your license. So be mindful about that. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Do we have time? Ms. Quinn?
It is, yeah, we're in here till 9:45, right? So we have 6 minutes.
Okay, 6 minutes.
It's
Okay.
an unrelated topic. Do you office at Gutierrez?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, because he trained my brother in that program.
Police explorers? Yeah. Yeah, he was actually my advisor too when I went through it, so.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I just wanted to.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my parents were in a hit and run while they were driving. And they swerved, and my parents were sitting in the back. They had their seatbelts on. Everybody had their seatbelt on. They were sitting in the back. They swerved on an icy road, and they were elderly, but that was a lot of it. But they didn't want to go to the hospital. My brother stopped, and the police came, and they said, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" My parents said they were fine. My brother didn't believe them, and he drove them to emergency room. Guess what? They both had major injuries, internal injuries, and they were bleeding by the time they got there when they peed. And my father actually died from that accident. Had they gone home and slept it off, they would have both passed. So you want to speak to, like, if there's a...
Yes. If you're involved in an accident and you think you're fine, I tell people this: it's better to be safe than sorry. Let the fire department check you out. And if you say, no, I don't want to, and I tell them, if the pain gets worse, especially head injuries, you need to go to the hospital and check yourself in through an emergency. And this is a true story. There was a young gentleman that was involved in an accident. He hit his head during the accident, okay? He told everybody, I'm fine, the paramedics, the police department, I'm fine. Told his friends, I'm fine, whatever. He went home that day, went to bed, never woke up again, passed away from a head internal injuries, like your teacher was saying. So please be mindful, okay? If you're involved in an accident, and sometimes these accidents can be very severe, and the body, it's trauma, so the body's trying to adjust to that, something new, something foreign. And if you feel like, hey, this is not right, you know your body better than anybody else. I don't know your body, so if you feel like, hey, this is just not right, rather be safe than sorry. And the fire department will check you out, and they'll ask you, it's our experience that it's best that you go to the hospital. These are professionals, follow their advice, okay? What's the worst that can happen? Have a nice day, no, you're okay? I'd rather have that than, no, I'm not feeling good. Yes, sir.
If the fire department were to come, would you be charged for it, or would it go on your insurance?
Insurance, if you have insurance, I don't know how that really works out much, but I do want to say that if you do have insurance, your insurance will cover that. If you don't have insurance, you're probably looking at a hefty bill. That maybe might change depending. I'm pretty sure they have some type of financial aid at the hospital if you can't pay for that. Yes, ma'am.
The same thing apply to, like, when your car gets towed when you have an accident?
Yeah. Your insurance will cover that because you were involved in an accident. If you have full coverage, if you have just a strict liability, you might look at the policy. Maybe you do have that covered under collision. But majority of the times, your insurance is going to take care of that. Whether you're at fault or not, they should take care of that. That's part of your coverage.
So if the airbags go off, definitely go to the hospital, just because how fast those airbags go off and how hard it hits your body. That's something you definitely, even if you feel fine, go to the hospital and just get checked out.
Any more questions? No? Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Be safe out there. And like I said, have fun. Thank you.
Thank you.